Welcome back. In this video, we are going to see the features of React Router version 6. React Router is one of the most widely used libraries that help in building user-friendly interfaces. And we have seen a lot of components provided by React Router DOM version 5 in our previous videos and added routing to our demo application. Recently, React Router library has released a new version that has additional components and more intelligent pattern matching algorithm. The bundle size is also significantly reduced compared to version 5. So let's see what changed and how version 5 is different from version 6. Before looking into the concepts of React Router version 6, I would recommend you to go through the videos on React Router version 5 because I'm going to use the same examples in this video. This is the example we used for React Router version 5. Initially, we would be in the root component. We have a navigation bar with 4 links. When I click on these links, it navigates to the respective path and the link is made yellow to let the user know that this is the active link. When I click on users and on a particular user, we used route parameters to render information of a specific user. Let's see how we can upgrade this to version 6. Let's go to package.json file and the current version of React Router DOM is 5.3.0. First, we need to install the latest package of React Router DOM using the command. This command would install the latest version of React Router. Now hit enter. This will start downloading the library. Installation is complete and now if you observe the version of React Router DOM, it is updated to 6.6.1. If you try to launch the application using npm start, you will notice a few errors because components might be removed or might be replaced with the new ones in version 6. Let's see them one by one. So the first difference is in version 5, we used switch to select the matching route and stop the matching process once the first match is found. In version 6, we don't have to use switch because now the algorithm is smart enough to identify what route we are trying to search. Instead of switch, we have to import routes. And let's replace switch with routes and save it. We see one of the error is gone. And the second difference is exact prop is also not required. Previously, we used exact prop to avoid loading the components which started with the same path. For example, when we browse /home, we used to see the root component loaded along with the home component. Now with this new algorithm in place, we don't have to worry about it. So let's remove this exact prop and let's save it. The next one is redirect. If the user is trying to browse the path which we did not define in our application, instead of ending up in a blank screen, we redirected it to the root of the application. In version 6, we don't have the redirect component. Instead, it has provided navigate component to achieve the same. So let's remove this redirect. And previously we used redirect inside the route tag. Now we have to place this navigate inside the element of a route. So element flower braces. Inside this we have to write navigate to equals slash and close the navigate. Let's import navigate from instead of redirect from React Router DOM. So you might have already noticed there is one more difference. Previously we used every route used to have component. Now in version 6, instead of component, we use element. So let me replace all component attributes with element. And we just used to give the name of the component. Now we should render that component. Let's save it. So now we have our application running. If I click on home, it goes to home and it is not loading route because now even without using exact, the algorithm is able to recognize which path we are trying to browse. And if I go to users, I see the users component loaded, about and contact us. Let me try to browse the path which is not defined in our application. Let's say not found. When I press enter, it goes back to root because we defined a wildcard entry here to tell our application that whenever you find a path other than these which are defined in our application, simply navigate them to root of this application. Now let's move to NavLink. In version 5, we used active class name property to apply styles whenever we click on a particular link to show that this is the active link. In version 6, we don't have to use active class name property. Instead, we can make a function call inside class name or style properties. Let me just make it class name, and inside this class name, let me make a function call. This function will have a property called isActive, based on which we decide to show the active link styles. So if is active, let me just return if it's active, then I want this link hyphen active class to be applied. Otherwise, do not apply anything. So just leave it blank. And we don't need the exact keyword as well. And let's just copy paste the same thing here. Let's move to the browser. Everything is activated. Let's see what went wrong. Okay, this is not just a property, but this is an object. So let's just make it an object and update this everywhere. Save it and move back. Now everything is white because we are in root of this application. When I click on home, the URL updates and this is the active link. So it's turned yellow. Now users is yellow, about is yellow, contact us is yellow. When we go to users and click on a particular user, we are navigating to user slash ID of the user and we are displaying the details of that particular user. And this was achieved in version 5 using route parameters. In version 6 also, it is the same. There is no difference between how we pass the parameters in a path. We still have route parameters here, and in this we substitute the parameters dynamically. The only thing is we don't need this active class name here. So if we save it, it still works. Let's quickly recap the differences we have seen so far between version 5 and version 6. We started by installing the latest version using the command npm install or npm I react router DOM @6. Next, we saw that there is no requirement to use switch in version 6 because the algorithm is more intelligent compared to version 5. So we replaced switch with routes. And every route used to have component, but this time in version 6 we used element, and component just used to have the name of the component that needs to be rendered when that route is triggered. But in version 6, element will have the root tag instead of just the name of the component. And we also saw that exact prop is not required. Previously, we used the switch in combination with exact prop to render routes properly without any conflict. But now, since the algorithm is improved, we don't need to use switch and also the exact prop. We also saw that whenever we try to search for a path which is not defined in the application, we used to have defined a wildcard entry in the route, and we used to redirect to the specific path. In our case, we used to redirect to root of this application in version 5, but in version 6, we used navigate instead of redirect component and redirected to the root of this application. And at last, we saw that NavLink used to have a property called active class name in version 5 to let the user know what is the active link clicked. In version 6, active class name property is removed. Instead, class name will take a function call rather than a simple class name. And this function will have an object with property is active, based on which we apply styles to show that the link is active. So these are the differences between version 5 and version 6. I hope the concept is clear. If you like the content, please like, share and subscribe to InterviewPro. Thank you.